Hi, Catherine. We're so happy to have you here with me and Lucia today. So Lucia Dang here is the director of the School of Images China Mainland, and I'm Mnlnd Lai, the director of the School of Images Hong Kong. So Catherine, you are our master teacher and also the founder of the School of Images. So could you introduce yourself and the school briefly to us?
My name is Catherine Shainberg. I have done this work all my life, and I did it before I met my teacher, Colette, in Jerusalem. And she taught me really how to hone it down and use it as a technology that could help many people. So I opened the school in 1982 in New York, and I've been teaching since through the school. Before that, I had another school in Israel, but this main school, which is now operative in many different countries, there are 9 international centers, is ongoing and doing well.
So in the school, we have 3 major pillars of teaching or studies, namely Saphire Imagery, Dream Opening, and Morphology. Could you tell us what they are?
Definitely. But before I do that, I have to preface it by telling you that we have 2 languages. The language that we know and that we speak is the language of the left brain. That's how people talk about it. But there's another language which is much more primal, which is the language of the right brain, and which is about imagination. Now, imagination is not fantasy, although we use our imagination to create fantasy, but it is the language of our experiencing. So, as a tiny child, an infant just born, has an experience that is going to be registered as images and sensations. And so that primal language we have not really cultivated. The School of Images is here to teach you how to cultivate your imagination and therefore your creativity and your intuition. So if we look at the 3 pillars, the most important one is called Saphire Imagery. We use very short exercises, sometimes longer ones for exploration, but we use those exercises to tap into the imagination, which we call generally the subconscious. You can tap into it for your dreams, but what if you could tap into it instantly with a question? I have a question, should I take this job? And your your rational brain is saying, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, maybe it's not enough money, maybe it's too far, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Your intuitive mind, your imaginal mind, is your body mind. And if you tap into it, if you're able to turn into it, push away the mental and access your subconscious, it's always going to give you the truth. One of the things that has been found out by scientists is that we do not take decisions through our reasoning. We take decisions through our imaginal mind, through our intuition. And so I train people how to do this, and we have a technology which is very specific, which is a little jolt that is created in the exercise, something unexpected that pushes the talkative mind aside so that you can experience something. You see it, you smell it, you taste it, you experience it, and that is what helps you to hear the answer, the truth of what your body and your heart really want to do. Any question that arises for you will can be subjected to a question or subject the subconscious to a question, and it will get an answer. So that's your Saphire Imagery. Now, when you get an image, and people get an image or a series of images, you've got a question. Do you understand the imagery that you see? In some cases, people, it's very, very clear. In other cases, it's not as clear. So then we have what I developed, which is called dream opening, which is a four-way system of understanding the images that are presented to you by your subconscious. It's very rapid and very simple. It starts with the storyline that is given to you. It then concentrates on the patterns, and the patterns reveal immediately what this is about. Now, then we have the interpretation, if you want, of what we have seen. And if it's the true interpretation, we have a feeling of great relief and joy. And that's your fourth level. So that's dream opening. Now, both the imagery and the dream opening are showing you information. If you look at the word information, you've got embedded in the word form. Form is the way that our body works. If I have an emotion of, let's say, joy, I'm going to expand. If I have an emotion or a feeling of joy, I'm going to expand. If I have an emotion of anger, I'm going to constrict. And this forms the body. We may appear exactly, I'll recognize you if you're an infant or if you're an old woman. I'll still recognize Millicent or Lucia. But we are constantly changing and forming ourselves. And morphology, morph means form in Greek. It's about the study of the forms of the human body. So it involves us being able to read the human body as we go through these profound exercises of tapping into the subconscious. The subconscious is your body language, your experiencing language. So we also study morphology. And those are the three main pillars of the school.
Catherine, could you tell us more about the difference and linkage between these three pillars of knowledge?
We go at it in a completely different way. I mean, with the Saphire Imagery, we tap into the subconscious by asking a particular question. It's a bit like the Zen koan, where the master says, hear the one hand clapping. And that is an impossible thought. But in the imagination, everything is possible. And so you can have a sudden insight or an opening into another world. So that's the technology, if you want, of the Saphire Imagery. It's very, very fast. When I give workshops or groups, people sit in a circle and listen to other people, and they are very struck by the fact that you see immediately what is happening, what is needed. Once you see that, and once you've done, let's say you've responded, you've dialogued with your image by using other images, you've entered into the play of the imagery, like a child would do, right? Then you get a clearer picture of what that person really needs. And this is your Saphire Imagery. It expands your consciousness, your possibilities. Also, once you've seen an image, it's very powerful. It's much more powerful than the thought. It's there. If I've seen a tree in full bloom and I've thought that I was depressed, then the tree in full bloom is very much more powerful than my feelings of depression. They actually disappear. So this is Saphire Imagery. Dream opening is done also in a group. There's one dream is presented, and we verify the story. We make sure the story is clear. We clarify the story. Then we check on the patterns. And all that is done with the dreamer there, the original dreamer, who doesn't enter into that process. It's the group that does that. As the secondary dreamer of this dream, these are the patterns that I see. And then each one of us in the circle opens the dream From my point of view as a secondary dreamer, this is what I see in the dream. And this is what I feel about the dream. Now, the fourth element is the response of the original dreamer, who will say, that's exactly what I feel. That's so helpful. That clarifies, that shows me the way. Generally, a dream is important because it's showing you the way. And morphology enables you to look at yourself in a mirror, recognize the form of your face, of your eyes, of your mouth, of your body, and know what a triangle will mean, what a circle will mean, what a particular form of the nose will mean, what a particular form of the body will mean. And you can do that with the people that you have, that you know. You may have a little problem with somebody. You don't understand why they're speaking the way they are, but their form will instruct you, will inform you. You can actually do a little imagery exercise and go and step in their shoes and find out from their form and their point of view what they really think. This is very powerful. So morphology, we use the 12 Greek gods because there's so many stories about the 12 Greek gods, and we find out about each one of them, what their particularities are. Let's say Mars is the god of war, and he's got his particular story. We follow the story in exercises, imaginal exercise, to find out what the Mars type is really motivated by and interested in and defensive about, and how to talk to the Mars type. So once we have really studied the 12, we have a very large panoply of how human beings behave. Now, of course, these are prototypes, and when we're looking at our friends or our clients or ourselves, we're looking at a composite picture. So I could have Mercury eyes and the Venus face and sun here and moon belly. And that makes for a composite picture that I learn how to read. So we're always staying within form, which is what the subconscious is talking to us about.
So they definitely are very interesting subjects. But why is it important for us to learn them? I mean, how are they relevant to us on a personal level?
Just this morning, a young man called me up and he said to me, I have two choices. I could do this and I could do that. And I don't know what to do. Should I do this? Should I do that? There's advantage in doing this and there's advantage in doing that. So, okay, you listen. And I say to him, well, close your eyes, breathe out slowly 3 times. And I give him a little exercise to push away his thoughts that are clouding the vision, and look in. What do you see? I see the beach. Okay, that's where you have to go. And that's where he's driving to just now, right? So it's instantaneous. It's very, very helpful. It also reminds us that we can trust our inner knowing. And trusting the inner knowing is such a relief.
Thank you, Catherine, very much. If you're interested, please check theschoolofimages.org for more information.
Thank you, Catherine, again, and we will see you all